Namaste. Welcome and greetings. I am Magic LaCroix. It's gonna stop a virus. No. This
Got y'all listening now. Some witchcraft for that ass. Too late to turn away. Abracadabra and all that good shit. Yo. Hocus pocus, got you focused on my rhyme. Simply easy, now I'm eating couch potatoes, I recline. No, I'm joking as I'm toking power puffs at Pokeos. Till my town and villa filled with ganja smoke, you know the dope. Coming out my pipes, talking about the bones in my throat. With the mic, I'm casting curses every night, you know the scope. Got my spells handy. You may call it the phone, but when I'm done reciting, you'll give me the keys to the throne. Then I'll take my keys to go home. Didn't say I was done. While rush to end it all, it feels amazing to have won. I'm not planning to ball, but why not take the chance to stunt? No, I don't need it all. Can think of a thing I don't want. Do I worship the sun? Or sold my soul for the tongue? Or dead since I was young? Or got some voodoo done?
Namaste, Namastizzle, peace and blessings, greetings, shalom. What's up? How y'all doing? Y'all all right? Y'all doing all right? Magic LaCroix here. Hopefully y'all are having a great day. Y'all had a great weekend. Sorry I'm a little bit late today, but I've been watching One Piece all day. It has had my attention since early this morning. This is one of the best arcs I've seen so far. I mean, it's like each arc gets better and better. You know what I mean? This arc was called the Enies Lobby arc, and it was just entertaining and enjoyable as hell. But anyway, that's why I'm late. Also, I've been in hood movie mode, so I was watching Caught Up as well. So peace. How's everybody doing in the midst of all this madness? Peace, hip hop elevation. Peace, God. How you doing, man? Peace and blessings, Legacy Sigma, Chikezi. Peace, peace, Brother Moore. Almost thought it was a wrap for this week. Yeah. Like I said, I just been I kind of been going hard in the paint with One Piece with client stuff, and it's just been kind of hectic. But I said, let me come in here and chop it up with y'all for a few. What's up, Zoboy? Peace. Peace, Brother Konami. Where do I watch One Piece? I watch it on Hulu. When they decide to act funny and take it off, which they do from time to time, then I just go to Crunchyroll and watch it. But I've been enjoying the hell out of it. I am on episode 312. I never got this far in My Hero Academia. It's entertaining. This is a good damn anime. One Piece is all that. I gotta say, One Piece is really all that. Oh, was it really? It was on Netflix at one point? Yeah, it was. It was. And then for some reason they be fussing and fighting about licensing and all this old bullshit, and then they take it off. But I got access to a subscription on Crunchyroll, so I can watch it there too. But it is really entertaining. And like I said, I was watching hood movies all weekend. Watching Caught Up. I watched Bait, even though you can't consider that a hood movie. I watched Bait last night, the one with Jamie Foxx. Before that, it was, I think, Blue Hill Avenue. I watched New Jack City, Menace to Society. I've been going through them all. But anyway, yeah, you watch subbed or dubbed? Dubbed, of course. Only going to watch subbed if I have to, and I don't never have to. So, yeah. 312. I know, right? Because they on like episode 1100 something. I'm like a third of the way through. I've been on old Chicago videos myself, feeling nostalgic. I watch me and the wife. We have 80s movie night on Saturday, and we watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off this past Saturday. So that was all Chicago. Avatar is another good one. I watched that years ago. I have not rewatched that in a while. Yeah, Avatar is really good, man. You know, there's a cop joint with Lawrence Fishburne called Deep Cup. Yeah, Deep Cover. I watched that last. It's time for me to watch that one again. Yeah, so I understand. Fun fact: 312 is a Chicago area code too. Oh wow, okay. I did not know that. I really didn't know that. Um, so damn, and then it leaves. I made a post today. I was doing. I was just checking to see, if my synopsis is not synopsis, but my inquiry is correct. Motherfuckers will watch all day. They will watch me post dumb shit and laugh and joke. But when I make something serious, only very few people respond. Very few people, you know. And so I felt compelled to write this out today. And what I said was, they're trying to make y'all as uncomfortable as possible financially, mentally, spiritually, etc. They will continue with the distractions while everything they told you was coming actually happens. I tried warning you all about this a few years ago, but of course I got mostly ignored. I said prices were going to rise, more silly laws will be passed, and they will find ways to justify it and have you believe whatever they came up with. It matters not who is in office. They will make their plans work with your unconscious approval and will continue until all agendas have been fulfilled. We are now in year 6 of their 10-year plan, and by the end, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Quotes. Every consent you give, every law you bow down to, every distraction you feed into gives them the power to make all of this happen with very little resistance. Congratulations on making all of this possible by ignoring your conspiracy theorist friends, not taking a stand against any of it, and going on with your lives as long as you can be entertained by the idiot box and rich slaves. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. At least with all of this going on, Medea put people to work, right? And as you can see, I think like 5 people actually liked it or loved it. You know what I mean? So, it continues. Everything continues. You know what I mean? And the reason I say, are y'all doing all right, is because these distractions are just non-fucking stop. How do you get past it? How do you survive in all this shit? You know what I mean? How do you stay sane while all this is going on? What's up, Ultra Instinct? Divine Peace, Caribbean Grimoire. I'm not saying that what's happening in LA is fake, but I did run across this. You know what I'm saying? I ran across this. I wasn't looking for it. I ran across it. Make of it what you will. Okay. Um, Here's yet, piles of bricks. Okay. Similar to what happened with George Floyd. And then look at this ad, looking for the tough badasses in the city. Extremely tough brave men for new crew I'm building. Compensation $6,500 to $12,500 per week. Yeah. So this also went into this is also happening in Los Angeles where this ad was placed. So like I said, take of it what you will. Make up your own mind. You know what I mean? Right. It's something new every single day, Zoe boy. Say it again. Something every single day. It's like, wow, they just don't stop. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, yo. It's just straight up ridiculous. And the mental illness is getting worse, and people encouraging mental illness is getting worse. I like to look at the reels on Facebook, the clips, and some of the stuff that I'm seeing is just unfucking believable. You know what I mean? Like, check this out real quick. Check this out. What's going on here? Tell me what's going on here. Somebody, anybody. Look at that.
Can you get out from me, sir? Can you get out from me?
No, I can't. Please go ahead.
Hey, can you get out?
No way would I be following this motherfucker though.
Hey, stay in the back. Stay in the back, Captain.
Oh my God. Woo. Please stop. Wait. Oh, help me. Please. No. Oh, help me.
They're coming down to me.
Okay. Please. Yeah.
You know they don't come.
Help me. Oh, help me. Help me.
Look at this shit, y'all.
We got somebody outside for you, sir. Come on. Hey, follow me.
Shall we do a pause for the cause? Wow. What can you say? You know what I mean? What can you say? You know, peace to anybody who came in while I was showing that clip there. They're about to implement Palantir. Peace, Sister Righteous. Strong AI. Yeah. What's up, Shamika Jackson? Hey, good to see you. Ain't seen you in a minute. What's up, Dom? Possession? Could be. Could be. They utilize it via the pandemic real word analyzing to implement Control Agenda 2030. That's my whole point. You know, it's fast coming, you know, and people are just still being busy being entertained by the BET Awards and Blue Ivy and just nonsense. Great time to be alive. More fodder for the science lab. All of this is down here. It's product of ongoing experiments. I think the point is remember why I came here, laugh, and move on and coordinate. Hey, that's a great way to look at it. That is a great way because I've been questioning why the fuck did I volunteer to come here? What was my reason for coming here? You know what I mean? What am I supposed to be doing here? Because this shit is fucking sheesh. Then you got, oh man, there's so many experiments, so much nonsense going on. Like you got, I guess, people out here saying you shouldn't wash your ass every day. People, you should wash your ass every single day. Okay? Every single day. And the reason I'm saying that is because of this clip. Right?
Wash your ass every day. In science today, they just had a new study that said showering every day is not good for your skin. That's right. You should only shower maybe 3 times a week or something like that. Where did they get this study from? University of Neanderthals? Huh? That's bull. You're supposed to shower every day. You don't shower 8 times a day, no. But every day. No, you know what? Every day you're supposed to shower and wash your ass. Because there's debris from the air, debris from outside, debris from touching things, touches your skin. You understand? You got the epidermis, the dermis, the subcutaneous layer, all those layers. All of that seeps into that. And you got to wash that, man. That's what the Moors did when they came to Spain and Europe and taught the Europeans how to wash their ass. Because in Europe, they wouldn't wash. They would like themselves and stuff and put perfume to cover it all. Look it up. It's the truth. And it says it causes dryness. That's called lotion.
That's why there's lotion, though.
And by the way, when you shower, there's a washcloth. Yeah, not just your hands and doing it. Nah, there's a washcloth to scrub that.
And so, see the movie Perfume. All right. The movie Perfume. Bobby Hemmett pointed us towards that direction. And that, yes, what he said is absolutely true. The Moors civilized Europeans on how to wash their ass and how to be civilized. You know what I mean? But it fucking pains me when I see a clip of a black person acting up and then the white people in the comments saying, can they just act right for one day? And just all these negative comments about us as a whole. You know what I mean? And it's like, you cannot fucking talk. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense. But anyway, what's up, Rayshawn Justice? Right, leave him be, because I would not have been following him, recording him. Fuck that job. That's insane, but he might be on something heavy. Yeah, possessed. PCP. Yeah, I ain't seen someone on PCP in a long time. Right. That close up on him filming him. You know what I'm saying? That dude needs a mental. Yeah, something. What's up, my cherie? How are you? Good to see you. You blame TikTok? There was actually a BT animated called Wash Your Ass. Was it really? I didn't know that. Saith what? That's what the European culture then. Exactly. They say some horrible shit about us in on social media. When, like I said, I like to watch those Facebook clips, those reels. And when anytime you see a black person, I go straight to the comments. Y'all know me by now. I go straight to the comments, and there's always white people insulting us as a whole. You know what I mean? As a whole. I know you don't have to pay it attention, but fuck that shit. This goes on everywhere, you know, and they really believe us to be, they still believe us to be inferior to them. Peace. Namaste, Katrina. Katrina, I just showed one of your clips. I promise I plan to get to a couple of your clips today. My grandfather will always let me play his Red Fox records out. One of them was a title, you got to wash your ass. Damn, we got a lot in common, Ultra Instinct, because my grandfather used to let me do the same thing. They were actually records, and I would just sit there and laugh and shit at adult jokes. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Seeing some recent videos of them proud to not bathe or wipe after they take a dump. Oh my God. It just makes my stomach turn, man, saying some shit like that. You know, but that is fucking crazy. That is crazy. But like I said, walking up on him, recording him, that is fucking crazy. All right, we got another clip I want to get to. Right, just disgusting. Look at the movie Perfume. This is what they did. They used to wear perfume to cover up the stench, like in Paris. Okay. This is a true story. It's not making it up.
Let's talk about environmental racism. So Elon Musk has built a supercomputer in South Memphis.
Yeah.
So one of the blacker cities in America, and then to go to the poorer, one of the poorest districts in that black ass city, and ruin the water. Like Memphis has been known for having great water because they sit on top of an aquifer.
Yeah.
So they brag about their water, how good their water is, and there's constant threats to that water. I don't know what's up with these parasitic ass niggas, bro. They're insidious. It's like they see resources and like, how can I destroy it? Supercomputers, AI, it uses a lot of water. You have to use a lot of water to cool these supercomputers.
Right.
Which causes air pollution, and it also causes water pollution. And they're dumping that water into the Mississippi. And environmental racism is not something new. There's a history of this. So you go Mobile, Alabama, Africatown. The historical context of Africatown is a location chosen by enslaved people as a community. Area has faced challenges in protecting its heritage and residents from industrialization and pollution. So right outside of Africatown, if you've ever been to Mobile, Alabama, there's a huge plant there. And they deal with all types of issues with air pollution and things like that. This ties in directly into a history of environmental racism. Vince Staples talked about this, that where he lived in Long Beach was right next to a plant. And he woke up one morning and couldn't breathe and developed asthma from this. But how many people are living in these low income neighborhoods that are faced with pollution due to environmental racism? So what are the long-term effects of this supercomputer in Memphis? And what are the long-term effects of the health on those residents? Just like there's been studies done, you know what I mean? And it's fucked up because, you know, it's that sleight of hand shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we doing pardons over here, but we also fucking up your neighborhoods over there. And the pardons really don't matter. You know what I mean? And in the big scheme of things, this is the thing about like Elon, and like, you know, Elon is invested heavily in environmental racism, even down to the Tesla, because we know that they're solely dependent on the Congo for cobalt, and people are dying. The people that are working those mines are essentially slaves and are treated as such. I think a big part of this, right, is like we have all this infighting, right? And I talk about the infighting, and we want to address the issues that go on within our community interpersonally. Specifically, we've been talking about the issues with misogyny, misogynoir, and how men benefit from and perpetuate the patriarchy. We have to develop some type of unity because the enemy is much bigger than just the local racist. Let's talk about environmental.
You know what I mean? See the movie The Distinguished Gentleman with Eddie Murphy. All right, see that movie. Okay. Yeah, from it's redundant. I know it's redundant. Every angle that can possibly be had with attacking melanated people is happening. And like Zoboy said earlier, it's something new every single day. You know, it's crazy. And yet we still are having these gender wars, and we still are just not standing up to any of this shit. You know, we looking at surface level shit. We still are trying to get a bag with these pseudo occultists. All right, there's no need for that right now, or dabblers that's trying to teach other people. You see what I mean? It doesn't work. You know, anybody with a platform can now teach occultism. I hate the word occult now because it's so overused. All right, I could spray some Florida water in my home or mop my floors with Creoline, and now I'm an occultist, and that's all I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, these bitches went to space for 10 minutes and now they astronauts. You know what I mean? Pseudo occultists. Okay. That's just crazy. It is absolutely fucking insane. Europeans use insults and assault because they can't face the truth. That's how they project their traumas. Yes, indeed. Memphis is hecka beautiful too. It is. You know, you cannot mask that funk, not gonna work. You can always smell funk under perfume. I know I can. I will call it out too if you're around me. I shower nightly. I got to be clean when I get. I know that's right. Did the same in San Francisco, Hunters Point Naval Yard, right next to the hood. Like I said, see the movie The Distinguished Gentleman, Eddie Murphy. It's an old movie of his. What's up to my princess, my daughter? Hey, Dizzle Fizzle. How are you? Elijah Muhammad said they can't put off their destruction. Nothing they can do once the inevitable reality comes. They know who we are, but we don't. We still don't. You know, absolutely correct. But like I said a long time ago, they're going to take as many of us as possible with them. Believe that. He's right. If you ever seen any interview of his fathers, they have a deep level of psychological racism, environmental racism, you know, shit. Let's call it media racism. I like that hashtag Masonic mind games, right? Gender wars, yeah. Like I said, we don't need this pseudo occultism right now. Here is a old video of mine. Once I looked at it, you can tell how old it is because of how short my hair is. And it's called Respecting the Craft. Let me know if this is low or you can't hear it. And don't laugh, y'all. It's old. Not lecture. All right, so the first thing I want to go over is how to learn to have patience. Magic in general, the occult in general, you can't rush the results. You can't fix something that's wrong with you or wrong in your life. If it's been happening for years, you're not going to fix it in a week. It's not going to happen that way. It's going to take time. And a lot of people these days, they just don't have any kind of patience. And I don't blame it solely on the person themselves, but it's also, you know, the GMO food, the media, everything that we're being bombarded with, the chemtrails, is making people lose their minds. You know, and I don't want to get too far off the subject, but I'm seeing a lot of people expecting instantaneous results or results in a week. It's just unrealistic to think that way. You know, this may look like it's easy to people that you see on the internet or on YouTube that are occultists that seemingly get fast and quick results, but it's taken time. True. And so, yeah, I said this nearly 10 years ago. That's a 9-year-old video called Respecting the Craft. And we have went so far left as far as that is concerned now, because there's people who expect, like I said in the video, instant results. You know, you say one incantation and smoke's supposed to appear and flashes of light and bam, there you have it. But this is the result. Again, like somebody said, or I think it was Brother Moore, TikTok. Let's see. More footage. It's even stretched on into the church now, the nonsense. Even though I'm not a church goer, but the nonsense that's going in on the church, the programming has gotten so much worse. Exhibit A or C or wherever I'm at right now, because I've shown a couple videos so far since we've been live.
But first, let's take a look at Sarah Jakes Roberts, Jakes' daughter, who will be replacing him as pastor. She has publicly preached about forgiving God.
And so, if I'm honest, while I was studying, something came to mind, and I didn't even know if it was proper to say. But I felt like in order for Zacharias and Elizabeth to stay faithful, that they had to be willing to forgive God.
Wait, hold on. Let me play this one more time. Listen to what she said.
And so, if I'm honest, while I was studying, something came to mind, and I didn't even know if it was proper to say. But I felt like in order for Zacharias and Elizabeth to stay faithful, that they had to be willing to forgive God.
Oh, Zachariah and Elizabeth had to forgive God. Forgive God. Is it God that needs our forgiveness? Or we, the human family, needs God forgiveness? Which one is it? And which Bible verse that says Zachariah and Elizabeth had to forgive God?
Yeah. So in other news, yeah, I forgot Sage. You're right. I sure did forget that. Sage. Hygiene baths every day, as well as daily spiritual baths. You can't go wrong. Exactly. Oh. Santos did a surprise appearance on Old World Florida last night. He was happy and didn't cuss. Who is Santos? My Sherry. Oh my God. The proms. My goodness. Me and the wife was having this conversation the other day, and it's a whole event now with this new generation where they're having like these displays and balloons and confetti and those ugly are they Teslas? I don't know what those new cars are, but they're ugly shit. It's a whole event now, and now the mothers are dressing up, and it's crazy. It's next level crazy. Is that his wife? I believe that was his daughter. Oh, Santos Bonacci. Okay, got you. Insane. In fucking sane. You know what I mean? Here's another one. She's taking over from her father, but spewing this nonsense and everybody on mute in the congregation. Right? Ain't nobody that's another problem. Nobody is speaking up about any of this bullshit. You know what I mean? None of it. It's crazy. It's crazy. One more clip before I say something. Here's another old video of me. Where was I? Spoke about Astaroth and negotiation. People were playing with this, and it's maddening, it's sickening to me. I actually trusted you on point because I actually thought of opening this video with my Tibetan singing book. Speaking of Tibet, excuse me. Why do Tibetan Buddhists, why do they spend years in isolation, learning and meditating? They spend fucking years. These people on Facebook spend months, maybe weeks. I got it. I'm going to teach other people. How, Sway? Why do the Tibetan Buddhists, or one of the most powerful grimoires out there called the Tibetan Book of the Dead? How is the Tibetan Book of the Dead different from the Egyptian Book of the Dead? Or are they the same? So, yeah, I got it. I'm going to teach other people. It's like, you know, I've been doing this for a long time, a very long time. And I've seen people play with this, and there's a couple ways that this goes. Okay. For the ones that who don't take it seriously and think it's a game and think it's a joke and think it's, easy. You know what I mean? I've seen some people die. Believe it or not, they either die, they go back to church. You know what I'm saying? They become alcoholics. All right. They become drug addicts and die. You know what I'm saying? And all kinds of hell happens within their lives when they are trying to invoke powerful energies that their minds are not prepared for. Okay. This is why I say you don't need pseudo occultists out here trying to lead people. All right. No, I'm not a gatekeeper. Okay. I'm just warning of the dangers of playing with this. I've seen everything that I've just listed. I've seen people do. I'm one of the few remaining ones that's still around. Okay. I've seen one that was fucked up so bad, and she was supposed to be an actual vampire magician. I seen her so fucked up so bad. Not only did she looks like a crackhead, all right, talking about God now. Okay. And she lost all this weight. And you can tell the difference between normal, healthy weight loss and crackhead weight loss. There's a difference. You see what I'm saying? These are just words from me. You can take it or leave it. Okay. Use discernment. I have absolutely no reason to come here and to lie to you or to try and hype myself up to be something that I'm not. All right. I've just seen it happen. Okay. I really have. Oh, hey, what's up, Tosh? I didn't see you sneak in there. Yeah, that's let's see. That's because they brainwashed that Jesus program is crazy. I was just reading a book on Tibetan dream yoga. Yes, must be mentally mature. Right. I gotta have good mentors and kind of stay consistent and take your time. My spirit guide's always telling me to take my time and keep going. Right. There's absolutely no rush. But like I said before, people want instant results. They want things right away. I can be honestly say I've never seen it end well for someone who dabbles in this. There's a lady on YouTube. She's a reformed dancer. She found Jesus and telling her followers that crystals are evil. You know what I'm saying? I've seen strippers try and act like they're spiritual occultists or occultists, that they're real spiritual, and somehow selling their ass is divine feminism, divine spirituality, or it's some kind of path that they were led to by spirits. If you're gonna be a hoe, just be a hoe. You ain't gotta try and justify it. Just be a hoe. Meditation needs to be promoted more. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I meditate before I come on here live with y'all every time. We live in an age where cultures have only right. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Here you got occultists having OnlyFans. Here you are claiming to be an occultist, yet you selling your ass for money. I can't get with it. I don't care how you try to justify that. I don't care how we talked about this before recently. I don't care how you try to justify that. That's bullshit. That's straight up bullshit. The sacred whore energy, right? Exactly. Sacred whore. They took sacred whore and just made it OnlyFans. Getting their backs blown out, talking about fucking spirituality. Fuck out of here. Ho genies, yoga hoes. Right. I also don't understand the obsession with wanting to get your ex back or hexing for these new age witches and the spiritual. Seek protection and self-love first. That always that always ends badly. You know what I mean? Always. Self-love, indeed, indeed. There is a book called I think I suggested it to y'all before. It's called the book on ceremonial magic. Author Edward Waite. You know what I'm saying? He says in here, Jesus. All right. I gotta go to this the hard way. Check this out. The importance of ceremonial magic and of the literature which embodies it to the history of the occult sciences being admitted. There's no need to argue that this history is a legitimate and reasonable study. In such a case, knowledge is its own end, and there can be certainly no question as to the distinguished influence which has been exercised by the belief in magic throughout the ages. In order, however, to understand the literature of magic, it is necessary to obtain, first of all, a clear principle of regarding it. It will be superfluous to say that we must surrender the legends as such to those who work in legends and dispute about their essential value. We need not debate whether magic, for example, can really square the circle, as magicians testify, or whether such an operation is impossible even to magic, as commonly would be objected by those who deny the art. We need not seriously discuss the proposition that the devil assists the magician to perform a mathematical impossibility, or its qualified form, that the circle can be squared indifferently by those who invoke the angel Cassiel of the hierarchy of Uriel and those who invoke Astaroth. We shall see very shortly, as already indicated in the preface, that we are dealing with a bizarre literature which passes by various fantastic phases through all folly into crime. We have to account for these characteristics. The desire to communicate with spirits is older than history. It connects with ineradicable principles in human nature, which have been discussed too often for it to be necessary to recite them here. And the attempts to satisfy that desire has usually taken a shape which does gross outrage to reason. Between the most ancient processes, such as those of Chaldean magic and the rites of the Middle Ages, there are marked correspondences, and there's something of common doctrine as distinct from intention in which identify with more or less obtain, underlying them both. Y'all all right? But at the same time, I can see why, if you follow Vamp Magic or Succubus, would create a nest OnlyFans. Okay. I mean, okay. I have no rebuttal to that. Like I said, I'm starting to hate the term occultist. Call me a sorcerer, or just say I am that I am. If you know, but everybody uses the occult now. Occult truly means hidden. Okay, truly means hidden. If you've never heard me say the current need spell, okay, because some of y'all gonna need it. All right, I've given out so many simple spells here, so many. Even just when I was doing the series on the Psalms, even that, but people are so fucking lazy. You know what I mean? Psalmic magic. This is a couple years old now, and I give ways in which you're supposed to say the song. You don't just recite. You don't just recite the songs. Okay, there's a couple other steps you need to take. All right, look under my videos. They're now getting buried the more I do this on Psalmic magic or Kabbalistic magic, because that's part of it. All right, but the current need spell, like I said, I've given this out so many times. And usually I follow up with people to see if they've done it. And most people don't even do it. It's real simple. All you need is a tea light candle. That's it. That's all you need, right? When you get up early in the morning, you write down what you need. Like say, I need $500 for the rent. Just a crude example. Write that down on a slip of paper, circle your intent, fold it, then you fold it again. And you carry that around for at least 12 hours, right? For at least 12 hours, okay? And then at night, when you're alone in your ritual space, okay, light your candle, open it, read it one more time, and you say these words 3 times. From beyond this candlelight, the power that rules over money come to bring to me this needed sum, aided by a cosmic name, because I burn this sacred flame. Say that 3 times, tear up the piece of paper, throw it in the trash. You do that for 7 days in a row. It works. It's called the current needs spell. Okay. Like I said, how much more can I give out here? How much more? Seriously, how much more simple shit? Okay. Not to mention, there's a lot of foul, detestable spirits attached to occultism. Oh, yes. Home run on that one. A lot of vampires out here. That's why I said that. So they out here eating and playing on people's. Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. Understood. I understood what you said. You have shared so many. To be fair, it's only because you share so much, though. I appreciate you saying that. I only share what I can. I can't go deep into it. Not when people are paying me to go through my classes and courses. I can only give so much. You know, you may have to create some magic topic playlist. Maybe. Vowel chanting. It's not something I do, but it works. Yes, I remember this, but I missed the first part about carrying it around for 12 hours. Yeah, carry it around for at least 12 hours. That's why this is what I do. When I use the current needs spell, I write my statement of intent 7 times. I mean, I'll put it, my statement of intent, and I'll use 7 strips of paper and write it down. So that way, when I get up, I won't forget. I'll just grab the piece of paper, read it, fold it, then fold it again, put it in my pocket. It works, people. It works. But like I said, I have followed up with people. Oh, I ain't have time. How the fuck you ain't got time to make something work? But anyway, namaste, Savannah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you have an everyday favorite mantra? Everyday favorite mantra would be Om Gum Ganapataye Namaha. That is Ganesha. Om. You can even go Om Shreem Ganapataye Namaha. You can include the Lakshmi mantra in that. You can make up mantras. All right. You can make up mantras. Okay. Once you know the seed mantras, you can make them up. There's literally thousands of mantras. Again, one of the easiest ways to make something happen, people still won't even do that. Yeah, so like I said, distractions. You know, Tyler Medea has done it again. Medea has done it once again. It amazes me how he can do this and people keep falling for it. You know what I mean? Keep falling for the trauma. He preys on the Black woman's trauma, and he puts that in movies and people praise it. And it's like, again, y'all falling for this shit again. Not only did he come out with people saying that they cried over this movie, he put this out at the same time. He put out a series called Divorce Sisters. When is enough going to be enough when it comes to him? When is enough? Hey, he gives black people jobs, though, right? He does that, right? Okay. So be it. It shall be done. Amen. Selah. Oh shit. Oh shit. Shit. Let's see. More mental illness or just wanting the spotlight for likes. Black people will do anything for likes, such as this.
Step on shit, think it's stuck in my shoe. Step on shit, think I'm stuck in my ways. No ways, pretty face. Me versus me, so I'm winning the race. If I like him, I'm making him chase. If I'm too far, you gon' book me a flight. If he can't, then I'm keeping it tight. I don't step on shit, think it's stuck in my shoe. Step
Yes, foul chanting is powerful. Indeed. Ganesha. Yep. Right. It's I call it trauma porn, but it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. And he makes a killing off of it constantly. He adds to the gender wars by feeding black women nonsense. He adds right to it. I chant mantras and Vickers every day. Definitely helps with your frequency. Indeed. Yes. Yes, an attack on the melanated women constantly. That's where I heard about it. He said it was very powerful, not an everyday practice. He temporarily went semi-blind for a while because of a chant. Really? Wow. Okay. Probably feed the energy of the riots. Women are powerful generators, especially stressed melanated sisters. Yep. And he prays on this. And if you have time, y'all, Dr. Hassan T. Johnson goes in on this. He goes in on the statue in New York. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I will play just a part of the where am I? 31. Johnson. 21. 21. 20. Wait a minute. Fetishization. All right, I'll just go into part of it. Y'all can watch it when it's available. I mean, not when it's available, when you're able to give it a shot. You know, he had this to say about it. Very educated man. He's a PhD. His name is Dr. Johnson. Let's go to the clip. The fetishization of the singular black woman. I don't want to spend too much time on this topic.
Celebration of a very old idea now, at least been popular for about 50 years. And it proposes that this is the black woman, perennially, like this is her essence. And she stands in complete isolation from everything else that's produced her. She's completely out of connection with. Right. So this is the kind of idea I see being presented. It's kind of that sacrificial hero kind of figurization going on here, which to me is really more about white liberalism than anything else. This is how white liberals like to look at black women. And black women, support it, applaud it, because at the end of the day, it adores them. It's adoration. As long as, adoration. It's adoration. And as long as there's adoration, black women are never going to turn it down, even if it means that they, seemingly prosper without any connection to family, without any connection to environment. They're gonna lap it up, right? So they accept it kind of blindly, and there's no nod to anything else, nothing communally, anything else. The closest thing you get is the Man series accompanying project that shows for 3 minutes a day until freaking May. which kind of tells you what Price's, kind of perspective is on men. Right now, to my understanding, looking at some of the other, kind of materials, Price is a gay brother. And from what I can tell, ideologically, generally speaking, there tends to be more of an alignment with Black feminism along those lines. So the lionization of women is not surprising from that standpoint. And of course, the kind of diminishment of the male presence kind of is tied to that. I'm not particularly a fan of that framework, but that seems to be, popularly speaking, what we see most.
So I'm not going to share all of this, because he speaks for a minute on that. I think y'all are, informed and educated enough to know that there's an attack on a melanated woman, and a push for her to be without family, for a push for her to be single, a push for her to not have a man in the family. We spoke about this. This is not my niche, you know what I mean? And I think there's more people out there who speak on this and give it more time and energy. I don't want to do that, because of my brutal honesty. I might offend a lot of y'all, and I don't want to do that either, but now's not the time to be silently, just giving approval to the bullshit that we see being pushed constantly. Tyler Perry is a part of that. Divorce sisters, really? Divorce sisters? There's a constant push from the celebrities like Tia Mowry, you know what I mean, going on a whole phase after she destroys her marriage. I can give so many more examples. I won't. If you have time to watch that video, please do. He says a lot of good stuff in there. He has another video where he speaks on The Woman King, the movie. Please watch it. Nega's a whole fruity magician, right? She dressed like the Grey Majin Mutu. She looks like an anime character. She does. Excuse me. Do you know if the Erzuli ritual Bobby Hemmett gave us still works? Let me be completely honest about that. That ritual did not work for me. This is the ritual Bobby said people paid $100 to get into New York to have. They had to pay $100 to go to a gathering, and this one person gave out this Erzuli ritual where you tie a paper bag under a table. It's called a big money Erzuli ritual. That ritual didn't work for me. So I don't know. For me personally, it did not work. Most every ritual Bobby gives out works. That one did not. Okay. I'm just being honest. Yes, that one. That's the one. Yep. It did not work for me. Hate that statue, but I agree with the idea. Black women are a force all by ourselves. Okay. Let's go back to Sophia Pistis in the Gnostic text. Good correlation there. That's what I thought when I first seen it. I had two thoughts, like it was a nod to Venus, the original. On another hand, I initially thought that statue was hella ugly. I could say so much about that statue. I just won't. I think there's enough people out there speaking on it, and that's not what I try to do on this channel. Again, it's not my niche to do this, and I'm too honest. Let's see. I want to read. Y'all know that the Goetia is one of my favorites. And if you don't get into magic now, with all the stuff that they, like I said, they are trying to make you as uncomfortable as possible with the prices rising up on everything. If you're not doing it, what can I say? Okay. The the stuff that I give out is for people who are actually willing to put some magic out there to help themselves, because that's what it's for. It's for you to enrich your lives. How could you not want that for you and your family? I don't understand. But then again, a lot of people think that doing anything besides praying is an affront to God in the sky, in heaven, or wherever he is. You know, people think that it is a sin somehow to help yourself. But all right, so the Goetia, anyway, is one of my favorite grimoires. And check this out from Geosif. I don't know how to say this, honestly. The Argo of Magic, Encyclopedia Goetica, Volume 2, From the Greeks to the Grimoires. Geosif. Geosif Sophia, I guess. All right, let me stop because I'm embarrassing myself. All right, so I don't know why I can't. Okay. The word goes relates to terms describing the act of lamenting at funeral rites. The mournful howling considered as a magical voice. These magical tones can guide the deceased to the underworld and raise the dead. This is the root of the long connection of Goetia with necromancy, which has come to be termed black magic. Authors from Agrippa to Mathers and Waite use the term Goetic of most of the grimoires, particularly the darker ones. The recent fame of the Goetia of Solomon has obscured the long association of the term with supposedly black magic generally. From Agrippa, the negative association of the word Goetia go back beyond the medieval period into classical antiquity. Therefore, it might appear feasible that Goetia is a very old word for black magic. However, in Greek use, magic was a term derived from a Persian root, whereas Goetia originates within the Greek language. In the history of Western magic, not only did Goetia come first, it possessed a character that distinguished it from many later forms. In its original form, Goetia did not involve the same worldview assumptions as later magic of the approved Judeo-Christian type. The circumstances in which it competed unsuccessfully for a time are no longer applicable, and the old assumptions increasingly questioned. Unfortunately, since magic is a specialized, largely amateur pursuit in the West, the old cultural assumptions linger in many forms with an occasional nod in the direction of the new. Okay. Here is an example of to know of treasure hidden in the earth. Write in paper. Why is this not highlighted? Write in paper. Okay, come on up. Anyway, write in paper these characters following on the Saturday in the hour of the moon, and lay it where thou thinkest treasure to be. If there be any, the paper will burn, else not, and these be the characters. This is to know of treasure hidden in the earth. I love these old grimoires. They got a lot of gems in it. What you have to do, if you fucking with the old books, the old magical books, what you have to do is improvise. Okay, we are not in olden times anymore. All right. Think about, editing. Did somebody say that? Somebody said that. I guess I know nothing about the twins. I only know he had been cheating on her. Supposedly. No. I don't think he did anything. I think she just decided to leave. I could have the story wrong. I don't know, my Sherry. I would edit Bobby's ritual, probably call Legba first and a few. Right. That's exactly what I mean. Okay. You can't just call Urzuli and da-da. No, that's not how it works, especially not with the voodoo spirits, the Loa, the Loa, or the God damn it, the Orishas. It was a brain fart. I have found out some of the simplest rituals can yield big results. Yes, I think I got that book. I never read it though. Wasn't aware it's associated to the Goetia yet. You know, I've often heard long-time occultists say the same thing. After years of doing a ritual properly, they shorten them and still get the same, if not better, results. Yes, indeed. This is what, great point, Tosh. This is what modern New Age occult writers have done, such as Damon Brand, okay, and especially Baal Cadman. Baal Cadman makes it to he strips it to its bare essentials. That's what I like about his book. His books are totally for beginners. Baal Cadman. Great point, Tosh. I love the Solomonic spirit pots technology. Experimenting is a must. Yes, indeed. How else you going to know if you don't experiment? You know what I'm saying? Let's see. And don't forget Eliphas Levi. This is the guy that Aleister Crowley looked up to and who believed he was the reincarnation of. This book here, The Key of the Mysteries, Eliphas Levi, and is translated by Aleister Crowley. Okay. Religion says, believe and you will understand. Science comes to say to you, understand and you will believe. So what I mean? Understand and you will believe. Okay. This is why I think it's so important to know what the hell you're doing so that you can understand why things work or why they didn't work. When a man becomes a magician, he looks about him for a magical weapon, and being probably endowed with that human frailty called laziness, he hopes to find a weapon ready-made, so indicative of this current society. Thus, we find the Christian magus who imposed his power upon the world, taking the existing worships and making a single system combining all their merits. There's no single feature in Christianity which has not been taken bodily from the worship of Isis or of Mithras or of Bacchus or of Adonis or of Osiris. In modern times, again, we find Freda Ihi, trying to handle Buddhism. Others, again, have attempted to use Freemasonry. There have been even exceptionally foolish magicians who have tried to use a sword long since rusted. I love that point. Love that point. You know what I mean? Let's see. What else we got? Oh shit. More let's see. We'll get to some of these other we were talking about the programming. Okay. Programming. Here's how easy it is for the media to fool you.
Angela Carter here, live from the Cedar Grove flood disaster. Just kidding. I'm not real. This is Dana Brooks reporting live from Ocean View Beach.
Look at that.
Just kidding. I'm not real. This is Charlotte Reed reporting live from Clearwater Beach, where an unidentified... Just kidding. I'm not real. Angela Carter here, live.
It's so easy to fool the masses. It's so easy. You know, that's just one example of it. To be honest, man, I ain't doing so well spiritually and mentally. I'm very sorry to hear that. And I'm not being facetious by saying that. Can you recommend an effective money spell book that works? My name is Adam. Is it okay if I speak with you personally or reading? Yeah. Email me, please. Old school magicians have a charm to their craft. Yes, indeed. May I speak with you on the phone, or can I book a reading with you to speak? Yeah, we can set something up. Send me an email. This is my email address. 43@gmail.com. So, lick. They've been using it, just now showing the public. By the time they show you something, I think Farrakhan said this years ago, that by the time they show you things to you, technology is already 5 years old at least. Okay. And from Cosmic Comics, I think I've shown y'all this before, but I'm going to show it to you again. Okay. Because this does seem like it's going away, and we're talking about programming. All right. From Cosmic Comics, Volume 2. I used to call myself a color that I was not until I started studying colors and the history of color. Based on that information, I challenged myself to break the mind control program that I was taught. Then I realized that those that use that term acted out like some type of animal, and I was also found that they hate themselves. I began to study closer and found that Black Power was used as a suicide and assassination program, as well as a type of trickster, something like Black Lives Matter. If I were you, I would never use that term to describe myself again, because you call on those DNA imprints that open up low self-worth. I remember filling out an application for a job, and it asked your race, and under Black it said of Negro stock. And then I noticed that under all the other terms, it describes my history. So I checked off white, which said of North African descent. I got the job, but when they called me, I already had another job. Deprogramming. If a person is still using the term Black to describe himself or herself, go to the mirror and look at yourself, then say to yourself, why am I having such a hard time breaking this program? Say this 3 times in a row. By doing this, you allow your intelligence to delete the low self-worth. That is from Cosmic Comics, the Elder Azazel Bey. Not sure if you play games, but Metal Gear Solid 2 talked about this level of AI and AI running the government. I haven't here and there. I'm still playing 2K and shit when I do, or boxing. But yes, I heard that one from one of my bros in the military. They were using Zoom before it became mainstream. Okay. This is so true. I remember that movie called Ready Player One. They had immersive VR gaming that was way ahead of what was coming out at the time, and now that tech is coming to market now. Yeah, all of this stuff is old. This is all old. But remember, I said Negroes are always the last to find something out, and then everybody want to act like they just now discovering something great. Negro, please. And with that, I'm out of time. Thanks so much for joining me, y'all. Apologize for being late. No, I don't. Yeah, I think I've been up. I get up so damn early in the morning, man. It is by the time early evening towards nights, I'm starting to crash. So oh yeah, you're absolutely right. Star Trek did told us first. I can list so many ways in which technology, none of this technology is new, y'all. None of it. You know what I mean? But thanks everybody who came. I see y'all again on Thursday. We'll finish this, and I will actually play some more of Hassan T. Johnson's videos. Okay, I believe he's very relevant, you know, with the gender wars and the way it's going, and the constant mind control programming that they throwing at melanated people, but melanated women specifically. I think it needs to be addressed, not just by me, but by a whole lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for coming. I see y'all next time. I'm the one and only, the diabolical one, Magic LaCroix. As I greet you in peace, as always, namaste. Peace, y'all.